Hi once again. I am Pamela Chogo and I would wish to continue the second part of basic pitching skills. And in this particular case, I would like to take us through contents of a pitch deck. So as I mentioned earlier, there are different types of pitch decks depending on the context that you're pitching. But now in this case, I'm gonna share contents of the pitch deck that are most likely needed. So you might look somewhere and find additional, that is very okay. But the ones that I'm presenting here are generally the basic contents needed in a pitch deck. So for your pitch deck to be interesting, it's important to have an intro or a cover slide. And in this particular cover slide, it will have a one-sentence overview of your business and the value that you provide to your customers. So this is not your vision or your mission statement, no, but a catching phrase that will bring attention towards your presentation, but also in some way, this sentence will be summarizing what your solution is offering and what your business is all about and the value that you're bringing to the customer. The second, now the way I'm bringing up these contents, we could also put them in terms of slides when we are having presentation slides. So the intro and the cover could be the first slide. And then the second thing, which will also be the second slide, is the problem you're solving. So in this particular case, you tell a story of real people experiencing that particular problem. Now, maybe I can talk about storytelling in pitching because that is one way of catching attention of your audience. So sometimes in the problem, when you're talking about the problem you want to solve, you could bring it in form of storytelling. For instance, once upon a time, I went to a certain remote area and I found out that girls do not go to school during their days of menstrual cycle. They do not have sanitary pads to use. And this was very devastating and blah, blah, blah. And that is the similar situation is seen in other places where statistics show that this number of girls do not have access to sanitary pads, etc., etc. So some sort of a story, but also the problem we like to hear data. How many people are experiencing that problem? Because you might come up with an innovation, and yes, it's a problem, but could be a problem that is not very significant in the community. So if you say, for instance, you say the problem I'm solving is lack of funds for school bus for a certain number of kids. So yes, it is a problem. Maybe they don't have money to pay for school bus, but is it a problem in the community? Is it a problem that when you come up with a solution, people will be ready to pay for? So whenever we talk about the problem, it should be something that is sketchy. It should be something that is pressing and really needs a solution. Is the solution is now what will bring value to your business. Uh, after the problem, you have the market opportunity. Now here you're trying to show us, especially investors, that what's the market size? Who is out there waiting for this product? Is it needed? And that is why when I was talking about the problem, I said the problem should be significant in the community. Because as I said, if you say the problem is students not having funds for school bus, when we come to the market opportunity, how many students are facing this problem? So the bigger the problem, the better the opportunity. Now, in market opportunity, we have the total available market, total addressable market, serviceable available market, and serviceable obtainable market. Now, total addressable market or term is the whoever is needing your solution. So if you can get the statistics for that. For instance, if we talk of sanitary pads, we could approximate maybe half of the girls in Tanzania are facing challenge with sanitary pads. So you'll just look for statistics of number of girls in Tanzania, then divide it by 2, and that will give you a total addressable market. Then we have the serviceable available market, some where this is the market that you can reach. So with the total addressable market could be in the world, could be in Tanzania, could be, it's the bigger picture. But serviceable available market is the one that you can reach, your solution can reach. And then the serviceable obtainable market is the market now you have decided to focus on, the one that is easily reachable to you, and immediately you can share with them your product. So the fourth slide, or the first part, is the solution. Now here is where you describe your product or your service, where you'll bring in your product features or your service features, and you'll also bring up the uniqueness. What is the main value that your product is bringing? What is the uniqueness if you compare yourself with other available products or services out there? And then after describing the solution, you will go to the business model, where there are different models that are available. For instance, you could say will be a business to business. For instance, if you sell to other businesses, or you could be a business to consumer if you're selling directly to the consumer, or could be a business to government if your product or service is to serve the government, etc. But we also have other business models such as freemium model, where with a freemium model you offer your product or service for free to some extent, and then later people will be paying for it. So there are various business models that you can define for your own business, not necessarily defined as B2B, B2C, or freemium, but you can also have your own way of communicating the business model that you use. Oh, so I think there's a mistake with my slides. So this number 6 is this, it's a repetition. So this would be number 7, the revenue model. So the revenue model is how are you making money? Because at the end of the day, when you have an innovative project, it needs to make money. Even if it is a social enterprise, even if it is a charitable activity, it needs to make money in any way. So for a business entity, it would be for profit. But if it is for social enterprise, it means you need to make money to make the business sustainable. So in other parts, if you're talking of a social enterprise, instead of having a revenue model, it could be a sustainability model. Now, revenue models could be in different forms. For instance, with tech solutions, could be in terms of subscription, and then with other physical items could be in terms of selling. With services could be consultation fee, could be however you call it, but if you're getting that particular service and you're paying for it, then that's your revenue model. For instance, if I use an example of one of you who is offering styling services, so that is styling services, but the revenue model is selling the clothes. So revenue model is also a very, very important part, and especially if you're pitching to investors, this is something they are very, very much interested with. And then number 8, we have the traction of validation. So this is the proof of concept. You're telling us about your solution, you're telling us about your business, but can it really work? If you remember in the work that I spoke, the work method I spoke of earlier, one thing is people want to know how will you do it, but also can it really work? Because especially in innovation, you can have an amazing solution, but bring it to the practical side, it might not work as much as you wish it to. So with the traction, this is where you will share with us the number of customers if you already have, but also the number of people who are ready to pay for your service, the number of people who are waiting for your service, for in case of a product or service that is not already in the market. There is a book that I read and it says, if people are ready to give you the emails, then they are ready to buy your product. So for instance, you have a tech solution and people are ready to register, even if they're not paying for it. It means these people are already ready to pay for this particular service. So in the traction and validation, you'll tell us the number of potential customers that you have. Maybe you've already saved, but maybe they have communicated with you in one way or another. For instance, you went for exhibitions and there are people who came, they talked to you, and they left their addresses and hoping to hear from you soon. So all this will put them under traction. And then we have the team. Now with the team, this is the people who are working on the project. So it could be the founders, but sometimes you'll also include people that offer maybe a certain service to you in a way that you have agreed to work together as a team. A team is a very, very, very important aspect, especially if you're pitching to investors. Nobody would wish to invest in a project or a service that is solo. If you're just an individual, many investors would not wish to invest in you, but they would wish to invest in a team, because with a team, you diversify risk, but also the possibility of success is higher, is you're bringing in different expertise, different experiences, different opinions. And with such a combination, at the end of the day, it helps your product or service to reach its expectations. But also the composition of a team. When we talk of a team, it's not just bringing people from wherever, no. You need to have a team of people that really contribute to this particular product or this particular service. If it is a tech solution, for instance, we would expect to see a tech person. If it is an environment solution, we would expect to see an environment person. So this is how we come up with the team. So in this particular slide, you will be talking of the team, and very briefly, you'll also give experience of the team to show how strong they are in executing the project at hand. Slide number 10 is the financials, where you'll show your financial projections, maybe year 1, year 2, year 3. So in normal pitch presentations, sometimes we don't include this, but when you're pitching to investors, this is also one of the slides that is very important. The next one is the competition. Every business has a competitor, whether direct or indirect. And it is important to show us your competitors' analysis, because we expect as you research around your business or around your solution, you'll have to look at who are your competitors and what do they do. Showing us that you know your competitors is giving us the comfort that you understand your business, and your value proposition or the uniqueness of your business can also come from the gap that you see with your competitors. So you'll be different from your competitors by offering XYZ, which is not offered currently with your competitors. And the last slide is the ask and the summary. So at the end of the day, when you pitch, there's something in mind. As I said earlier, the investor's pitch, you want partners, you want investors to invest in your solution. With the sales pitch, you want someone to say yes, you want someone to buy your product. With the other types of pitch, with the product pitch, maybe you're pitching to a company that you like to enter contract, they can offer production, etc. So at the end of the day, you're with the product pitch, the concentration is on the product. Now, the last slide usually should contain a very brief summary of what you've been presenting from the beginning. But with this particular case, you want us to remember. So you want, at the end of the day, as you're closing your pitch, you want us to remember very key items, especially who you are, what you do. But at the end of the day, what do you want us to do? Why are you telling us all this? So this could be your ask. In case of investors, could be ask for funding in order to do what and what. But for customers, your pitching customers, it would be buy. So like at the end of the day, you tell the summary and you welcome us to buy that particular product or service. And that is how you will be closing your pitch. So thank you for watching this part of the second part of the basic pitching skills. And I hope it will be helpful. And the next video will be sharing an example of a pitch deck that will help you understand more these components that I have just presented. Thank you.